Hey everyone, we are actually going to do a day on the water today. Let's see if I can walk through here and film and not run into a tree. So today we're actually going to be fishing a fly fishing only section here in Western Pennsylvania that has both stocked fish, and then it's also got some wild brown trout in it as well. So hopefully we'll get into a little bit of everything today. This is the first time I fished this section. I've actually fished a tributary to this a few years back, but I've never fished this main stem here. So hopefully we'll be able to show you guys how I approach the water on a brand new stretch of stream. And hopefully we'll get into some fish, show you guys the difference between some stocked fish and some wild fish here in the area. And yeah, so right now the gear that we're using today, we've got our Gideon reel, and then we're fishing with the 10-foot 2-weight in our 23 PS rod. The wild browns here typically are going to be in that 4 to 8 inch range. And then of course we got some stock fish all the way through here as well. So I'm going to approach a stream here, hopefully get a couple fish on video, and see how we do. So I will get with you guys real soon, hopefully with a fish in the net. So we're approaching the first hole here, and the hole I actually want to fish, there's a down log upstream, but I want to hit it from the other side of the creek. So what I'm going to do is there's actually a little riffle here that maybe will even hold some fish. We're going to fish this first, and then we're going to work our way to make sure we hit the right spot moving upstream. So I've just got a simple tandem rig on right here. I've got a caddis peep up top because there's a lot of caddis in a lot of local streams around here. I'll probably flip some rocks here in just a little bit. And then I've got a smaller March Brown presentation, or nymph, so we can have a good, just general purpose, because that's some of the bugs that are going right now. And then hopefully we'll get into a couple fish here. So these nice little runs will definitely hold fish. As I'm stuck in all the weeds walking up to the stream here. And more than likely some of these smaller runs will actually hold the wild fish compared to the bigger runs that'll probably hold the stock fish. So don't pass up some of these little bits of water here. You never know what you're going to get into. So all we're going to do is approach the first hole here. Get a nice little flip in. And then we're going to hit as much of this water as we can. And move up to the spot that we actually want to fish. But don't miss this mediocre water here. You just might be able to get into a couple fish on your way to the hole that you want to go into. Now I've got a pretty short Euroliter on here. As you can see, the bright colored. But with how low the water is here today, I probably won't even be able to utilize it too much. We're getting hung up here. I might have to start using some lighter weight nymphs. If you're catching things on the bottom, that means you're on the bottom. So I've got like a 2.8 and a 2.5 tungsten bead on, and it might be a little heavy. Actually, through some of this, I want to get this drift as I'm stuck. I'm probably going to spook this hole now. Okay, let's try to hit this spot here. Guess that's a little deeper with a little faster run here. See if we can hook into anything. Just make sure when you're fishing these runs you hit all the sections. Close, mid, and far, and work your way through it. Might need to back up, especially when you're fishing a long rod like this 10-foot 2-weight, to hit some of the runs a little bit better. If you throw a handful of casts through like that and don't get anything, in most of these types of streams, your best bet is just to move on. So we're going to head upstream that way and hit this nice little run, but I want to be on the other side, so I wanted to fish this little run here first before I head up to that spot, just in case there's a fish or two in here. So here's the run I really wanted to fish. We've got this tree here. We also have, we're on the bad side for a shadow. So you want to make sure you're paying attention to where your shadow is in relation to the stream. Got this little elm tree here that might help cover us as we go a little farther up. What we're going to do is just try to, with this 10-foot rod, flip into some of these sections and see if we can get something in here. So we started on that side, saw that there was like a little bit of a reverse eddy. We did spot some fish. Oh, now we're spooking them. There is a decent sized palomino trout in here, and then I saw a couple other rainbows at least. So we're going to try to approach with caution, get a couple drifts. Of course they're hanging under the log with all the other cover there, and see if we can get a couple fish out of here. And of course this is probably the spot that we need those heavier nymphs after we changed out the last time. But we're going to drift through here a couple times and see what we can do. Keep our line tight, come right up on where the fish are. Hopefully we'll get a take. I don't know if you can see the palomino right under the tree there. But we also saw a couple fish in the back of the pool. I like to call these palominos tracer trout, because usually where you see those, you see other fish. There's usually other trout in the hole, up beside them, in front of them, just about anywhere. So I can see on that drift I actually shorted him on the short side. So this next time I'm going to cast a little bit farther and try to get my drift right up against him. It seemed like a better drift, but no take. The only bugs I've really been seeing are some crane flies. I think I saw one caddis, but when I flipped some rocks, I did see some caddis casings and at least one smaller mayfly. So our caddis pupa pattern, and of course a waltz worm does a great caddis pupa, but also just a very generic nymph pattern too. Looks like there might be another fish right next to the palomino too. See if we can get something in front of them. Now I've caught a handful of these, so they're always fun to catch, but they're not as fantastic as everybody else thinks they are. I actually saw a couple fish up a little higher on it, so I'm going to adjust my drift and try to hit the top end of the pool where those fish were. I see a couple fish moving in and around there. And something with these fish too is make sure you've got polarized glasses on, but sometimes watch their mouths. You know, especially when we steelhead fish in the fall, you want to keep an eye on those white mouths opening and closing. Sometimes you can see that before you can actually feel them take. Okay, we're going to try to adjust this drift to get into them a little bit better. A little bit farther so we can get the inside of the seam where he is. I might adjust because of the whole pool and put a little heavier nymph on the bottom. That's what I think I'm going to do, because this pool's a little bit deep. Reposition up here and give those fish a rest since we changed up flies a little bit. Big crane fly coming by. There goes potentially like a tan or a cream caddis. Couldn't tell as it was floating by or flying by. Oh, we had an interested party. 2 of them, but nothing. Let's try that again. That was a good drift. Nice solid through the current. We're watching the fly, we're watching the indicator leader. See if we can come into a fish or 2 here. No, another nose. There's 2 things that'll happen if they nose it. They'll take it the next time, or they'll not take it the next time. So a lot of times when they look at it once, you get a little better drift and maybe they'll take it the next time. That one is a little out of the current and kind of swinging. I'll still fish it through the run, just to see if anything picks it off back there. It looks like faster water here is really where all the fish are sitting. Oh, like that one. There we go. Now we got a fish. Oh, we got a jumper too. So just when I said you got to see where those fish are hanging out, where they're being a little bit more active, and then hit that current. That's where they were. They weren't in the slack water beside it. They were actually in the current. And here's the first fish of the day. So we're going to keep him in the net. Just a typical stocked rainbow. Pliers right out. I've actually been seeing some pretty good fish in Pennsylvania the last few years. It used to be like, 7 to 9 inches, and now we're getting a lot in the 9 to 12 range on average. But good little fish, if I can get them. I know how you guys always do it. You pick up these fish, they're flopping all over the place, and they just hold still for you. Not me. So, great little rainbow. Put him back in. And then handle them and get them out of there as quick as possible. Okay, there's one. Let's get a couple dozen more. This hole, and I'm not recording, but all that fast water, that's where you're gonna find these wild fish. So this one, beautiful, beautiful. Oh, you slipped through the net. My net holes are too big. Beautiful wild brown here. What we're gonna do, slip the barbless hook out of his mouth. Hold my hands, show you guys a little bit better. Look at that. That's a great looking fish. Right out of this hole. Faster water usually means wild fish. And put this guy back. There we go. There's another one. Let's see how we can get this guy out. Curious what he actually took. He took my bottom fly, or I gotta get him over that log. There we go. That's first. Nope, he took the bottom fly, which is the caddis, case caddis pattern. I'm stuck on that stick. Oh, there we go. Oh, we did it. I don't know how, but we did it. So we're gonna keep this fish in the water. Just a typical stocked rainbow. Another nice sized fish though. Here you go. Good fish. Off he swims. Let's do it again. So always be sure to lift rocks up. Show you a few things on here. Here's a small case caddis. This one actually looks like potentially a granum. I saw a few may find them scary off. And then we got this guy here. That is a huge caddis shuck. This might be an October caddis. Oh, here's actually a caddis pupa coming out. See that there? And that's probably a size, I don't know, 16, 18. So, you always got to be aware, flipping some rocks, seeing what's going on. A few small mayflies, maybe in the size 20 range, when I flip that over. And then lots of caddis, so be aware whenever you're around, flipping things over and seeing what's going on. Not all rocks have things, and not all systems have a ton of bugs, but you always want to keep track of everything and adjust your fly pattern accordingly. So to make sure I'm hitting different parts of the pool, swing through the current, retrieve it, try a few different things, see if we can get in there where the fish are. Oh, there we go. That's a good fish. Oh, might be a stocky. We'll see what it is. Or a very nice wild brown. I guess is a rainbow the way it's fighting. But we got a good fish and a nice run here. Putting up a good fight. Oh, it is a nice brown. Very nice. And that is, oh, the fish of the day by far. I'm going to take this guy out, snap a couple pictures. Very, very nice fish. So, you see the difference in these wild browns, and this one's been eating good. Oh, let me adjust my camera here. Change angle so you guys can see it better in the sunlight. So you're all tangled up. So this guy here, you can see spot pattern on him, red on the adipose. This is a very, very nice wild brown for the stream. Everything else has been kind of tiny that I've seen, and it's a few other people that have been fishing this lately. So we're going to go ahead and snap a picture or two and let this guy back, keep him in the water the whole time. Show you guys a super great fish. Look at the spots on that thing. It turned out great. Glad I came up to this spot. I'm going to let this guy go. Let someone else catch him. Hey guys, we're back in the shop after a day of fishing. Hope you guys enjoyed our day on the water. It was okay. We caught a handful of fish, but nothing too fantastic except for that wild brown right at the end. So that definitely made our day. Thank you guys for watching. Before we end this video, make sure you like and subscribe to our channel. Like this video and make any sort of comment on the bottom. Let us know what else you guys want to see. And check out our website. We've got a few links below on the gear that we used today, including the 23 PS nymph rod, the Gideon reel, our Alpha SS fly line and the 2-weight. And then we've got some other gear available there on the website. Check it all out. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Have a great day, and we will see you next time. And get stuck in the freaking tree. Now, it's stuck pretty good now. Dang it. I don't know how I got that stuck.